Grass is impossible. It breaks your timing, it breaks your footwork. When the first two go, your confidence goes out the window. The ball skids through before you're ready. You can't find any grip under your feet. Heavy topspin is more of an aspiration than an effective shot. You could even say the points end on serve before they've even started. So if you're one of the best players in the world, a Grand Slam champion, you still might not even be able to crack the surface. And then there's this guy. Same surface, same conditions. Yet he makes it look like a walk in the park.
His name is Roger Federer!
What was it about watching Federer on grass that just felt different than anything else in tennis? Grass is the most unforgiving surface in tennis. The ball stays low, skids through the court, and with the wrong setup, not only are you losing the point, but more dangerously setting yourself up for injury. Grass demands perfect timing, balance, and footwork. And because the grass season is so short, most players never fully master it. Federer wasn't most players. His game had 4 core elements tailor-made for the surface, and when you lay them out, it almost feels unfair. First, his compact preparation put him in position to take the ball earlier than anyone else. A lot of modern players need a big backswing to generate power off the forehand. Federer didn't. His racket got back early, and he stayed tight to the ball. This helped him generate or redirect pace easily with his forehand.
Same motion, completely different ball. How do you read that? You can't.
On grass, where the ball already plays fast, that's a cheat code. But it wasn't just the forehand for Federer. His serve was also deadly. Let me remind you that Federer wasn't exactly the hardest server on tour. It was the disguise, placement, and overall consistency that was simply out of this world. He could serve out wide,
15 love,
jam you into the body, or go up the tee.
40, 15.
Grass amplified all of this because the serve bounced lower and faster, giving returners even less time to adjust. Third, his slice backhand was practically designed for this surface. Federer's slice stayed low and forced his opponents to scoop the ball up from below their knees. That's one of the harder shots in tennis to hit, and Federer made people hit it repeatedly, time and time again. Fourth, his footwork was light years ahead of everyone else on the surface. Federer took small, precise steps. He never overcommitted. He split-stepped at exactly the right moment. Federer also understood, perhaps better than anybody, that grass rewards first strike tennis.
Massive and magnificent.
Don't even get me started on the exquisite touch and elegance Federer possessed.
That is a stunning drop shot.
Now, Federer didn't just arrive at Wimbledon and start immediately stacking trophies. In 1998, when I was just 1 year old, the bright-eyed 16-year-old Federer announced himself as the best junior in the world. After turning pro in 1999, we soon realized that Roger and grass were a match made in heaven. In 2001, we witnessed something almost spiritual on the court. The 4th round of Wimbledon, a 19-year-old Roger Federer steps onto center court to face Pete Sampras, the 7-time Wimbledon champ. Sampras was the king of the old grass. Federer wasn't fully formed yet, but this match showed us what was coming. Federer beat Sampras in 5 sets, putting an end to the king's 31-match winning streak. It was the passing of the torch. Federer didn't inherit Wimbledon quietly. He took it from the man who owned it.
I remember that match at Wimbledon like it was yesterday. I was the defending champion, 7 Grand Slams at Wimbledon. I walked onto that court thinking I knew exactly what I was doing. And then this 19-year-old kid from Switzerland started hitting balls I had simply never seen before. It wasn't one thing, it was everything.
But a lesson came before the coronation. A shock exit to 18-year-old qualifier Mario Ancik in the first round in 2002 forced Fed to take a harder look at his mental approach. A year later, he lifted his first Grand Slam title at Wimbledon, no less. Potential had finally become destiny.
Thanks to everybody. That's great.
Congratulations!
The straight sets win over Philippoussis marked the beginning of Federer's empire. The moment you could say that Federer became Federer. Defending the title in 2004, Federer faced Andy Roddick. Roddick had a 140-mile-per-hour serve, a massive forehand, pretty much classic American tennis, you could say. Yet Federer was able to neutralize it all with excellent returning and variety. power alone wasn't enough to beat Roger on grass. A year later, Roddick came back to the Wimbledon final improved, but Federer made the gap look bigger, getting the W in under 2 hours for a third straight Wimbledon title. Federer made Roddick look average with block returns and well-executed passing shots. The king was here to stay. And through all of this, Federer was also running a crazy 237-week streak at world number 1. But a new rival would emerge in 2006 and would completely rewrite the rules as we knew them. Nadal showed up to the 2006 Wimbledon final and immediately got bageled by Federer in the first set. Federer won the match in 4 sets, but you could tell that something shifted. Because after that first set, it never looked easy again. Nadal showed that physicality, movement, and punishing forehands into the backhand could challenge Federer even on grass. And this was peak Federer. Suddenly, it felt like a clock had started ticking. Nadal had figured something out. You can't beat Federer by playing Federer's game, but you might be able to make grass uncomfortable for him. Rafa's playbook? Turn the surface into something about endurance and baseline depth rather than elegance and first-strike tennis. Fast forward to the 2007 final, and Nadal pushes Federer to 5 sets, testing him in every possible way. But Federer survives this championship on pure nerve. 5 consecutive Wimbledon titles, equaling Bjorn Borg's record. But Nadal was getting closer, and 2008 marked the turning point. Nadal completed something that shouldn't have been possible, beating Federer on Wimbledon grass.
There's a new man at the head of men's tennis.
To do it, Nadal had to completely rebuild his game. Better movement, better passing shots under pressure, relentless attacks to Federer's backhand, even more of that trademark physicality. The baton had officially changed hands, and you could now say that prime Rafa had arrived. However, knee tendonitis would keep Nadal out of the competition in 2009. Naturally, Federer reclaimed the Wimbledon title, beating Roddick in another epic 5-setter. Here, Roddick played arguably the best match of his life and still lost. This was no longer peak Federer, but he was still good enough to win his 6th. While the Federer-Nadal rivalry defined Wimbledon for a generation, there was now a new problem. A new kid had arrived on the block. Djokovic didn't beat Federer on grass the way Nadal did. Nadal had to physically reinvent himself. Djokovic just solved him. Novak's defensive movement, that elastic ability to chase down balls that had no business coming back, meant Federer couldn't finish points easily. Novak could absorb pace, redirect, and neutralize Federer's serve patterns better than anyone else out there. Let's look at the 2014 Wimbledon final. Federer is the one pushing Djokovic to 5 sets. But Novak's deep returns and baseline discipline are just too good.
You know, going into a match with Novak, it's always going to be tough, sometimes rough physically.
2015 final, same story. Federer serves and attacks, and Djokovic hits through the middle, takes away the angles, and recovers laterally after every forehand. He's seemingly never out of position. Djokovic's return, absorption of pace, movement, defense, not to mention his crazy baseline discipline, represented the next evolution. Federer's dominance forced the 2 greatest players of his era to evolve to beat him. In fact, you could say that Federer forced these guys to create blueprints on how to beat him that didn't even exist before he arrived. Before the back-to-back losses to Novak, Federer nabbed his 7th Wimbledon crown in 2012, taking down the home favorite Andy Murray.
Championship number 7 for Roger Federer.
The theme had clearly shifted. Less overall dominance, more tactical control. This one was special because it marked Federer's return to the top spot. His rivals might have dominated grass in the 2010s, but Federer was still the standard on grass, and soon he would cement his place in tennis immortality. It's the 2017 season. Federer is now 35 years old. He's coming off a 6-month injury layoff with absolutely zero expectations, and yet somehow he pulls off this incredible season and wins his 8th Wimbledon title without dropping a single set. But it wasn't the same Federer. It was a better one with a more aggressive evolution of his backhand. The genius hadn't faded, it had sharpened. And now, at 37, he had the chance to make it 9 Wimbledon titles. Federer even had 2 championship points against Djokovic in the 5th set, but Novak saved them and went on to win. And yes, it's heartbreaking for Federer fans. I know, it's still one of the most vivid tennis memories that I have. But seeing Roger still outplaying the man who had solved him tactically at almost 38 years old was surreal to see. Roger Federer dominated grass for almost 2 decades because he was early to everything. Early to the ball, early to the net, early to read the point. Early to understand what grass demanded. Grass didn't just suit Roger Federer. Grass made him immortal. 8 Wimbledon titles and 12 finals, 10 Halle titles, a record 19 grass court titles, 65 consecutive match wins on grass, and the highest win percentage on the surface. Roger Federer was him. And for many of us, including myself, he was our childhood hero, the man who started the golden era of the Big Three. Tennis wouldn't have been the same without him, and everyone knows it.
Federer made you feel really average at times. He was very aggressive, he took the game to you, and no matter where you played him around the world, he was always a favorite.
He always fight unbelievable. The best player of the history, Roger Federer.
He just destroyed me so bad, and it was even nice to watch myself getting destroyed in this match.
Played 5 tie breaks and won all 5.
Most opponents have a weakness. You find it, you exploit it, you survive. Roger had none.
Roger Federer is the definition of masterful elegance.
That guy can make you look really, really bad, right? Because he can just play at a level that nobody else can match.
Roger is legend. He makes every shot looks easy.
Every single shot Roger hit made me feel like an awful tennis player. Looked so effortless, it made the rest of us look like we were trying too hard.
There's a level Roger could reach that nobody else could follow.
When Federer goes out on the court, he makes it look so easy that the technique is effortless.
He turned me into a relatively average player, and I was playing the best tennis I had left in me. That was the moment I understood what I was dealing with.
He knew how good he was. He was probably the most talented player to ever pick up a racket.
I only played Roger once, and he toyed with me. I felt like an absolute junior on the court with him.
I said it before and I'll say it again, he's the greatest natural talent I have ever seen. If you want to be a tennis player, you mold yourself on Roger Federer.
Roger was an inspiration to everyone in my generation.
Nobody will ever play tennis the way Roger did. I don't think it's possible.